Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know yet, my name is Jessica, and thanks for stopping by and giving me your time and subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, all the above. But I just want to jump on here because as soon as I woke up this morning, and it's still this morning, all I seen is news of a TikToker that was involved in a very serious car accident. And they are known on TikTok as, I don't even know, I guess I would say okay baby. Their 2-year-old. Their 2-year-old was the star of their TikTok, and his name is Preston. And he went by the name okay baby. So they were involved in a very serious car accident. The parents are both, I don't know if they are right now, but both in the hospital with multiple broken bones and have to have pins and rods and all that stuff. And they also have a daughter. She wasn't with them during the crash, but the 2-year-old was. And unfortunately, the 2-year-old passed away. He didn't make it. It's sad, very sad. I don't know the family. I never really watched them on TikTok or nothing. You know, I wasn't following them, nothing like that. But it's like I go on TikTok to check out, short videos to kind of, if I'm busy, if I'm bored, I'll go on TikTok, scroll through some short videos and things like that, and just everything was about okay baby, that little boy passing away. So just wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to put any pictures on here of him. If you want to hear the whole story on what happened, you'll have to go to TikTok. You might find it on YouTube somewhere, but the only thing I got was the 2-year-old passed away. Parents are in the hospital with multiple broken bones. And the vehicle veered off the road and hit a tree. And I just think to myself, like, what happened? What happened to make that vehicle veer off the road? And there's a lot of vehicles with malfunctions, recalls. I don't know if it was weather. I don't know if it was something happened inside the vehicle. I don't know what it was. I wasn't there. But I'm sure all details will come out. And I don't know. When you see something like that and a small child is involved, you think to yourself, like, what happened? How did it happen? Like, that poor little boy, that little girl, his sister. I mean, I went to TikTok. I went to their TikTok page, and I decided to kind of go down a little rabbit hole and see some videos and what their channel was about. And that little girl was just, you could tell that she loved her little brother. And I'm kind of like feeling a little devastated for her. I shouldn't say kinda. I'm really devastated for her because he was like her little best friend, and it was just the two of them, and they did everything together. And for her not to understand fully what went on is very, very tragic. It's a very tragic thing for a child to go through, and I know that all too well. When I lost my daughter, she wasn't 2. She was like, just about 7 months. And at that time, I had my 2 older boys and her, and it was very traumatic for my oldest boy. My second oldest boy don't really remember anything from it because he was so young. But my oldest boy was 4 years old when it happened, and I just remember, he's seen his sister leave in an ambulance and never returned. So when I had taken him to the gas station one time and he's seen an ambulance, he pointed at it and he said, sissy. You know, he thought she was over there next to him, and it was a very tragic, devastating thing. And he actually had behavioral problems. You know, right after that, he started misbehaving, and he was so close to his little sister. So, um, it's just when a child loses a sibling, no matter the age, it affects them. And I believe when the child is younger, it affects them even more than it would when they're older, or I should say, it affects a small child differently, losing a sibling, as it would affect them when they're older or an adult and things like that. Because when they're a child, they don't really understand things. They don't know what's going on. All they know is their siblings never coming home, and they're told that basically. So, um, I just sit here thinking about how the parents are handling it, how their family's handling it, and it's kind of triggering for me, to be honest, to hear of a small child passing. And I know it happens every day, but to see a face to that child or videos of that child in their life and to know that they're no longer here is just sad, very sad. And I hope, or I should say, I wish nobody had to go through that, but it's this is life. This is the circle of life. And unfortunately, some people are taken too soon, way too soon. I mean, that little boy was 2 years old, full of life, so sweet. You know, his reaction to things, the way he did things, and to put a face in a video of that child and the life that he lived with this tragic story is just devastating. But as soon as I seen that all over my TikTok, in which you can't believe everything that's on the internet, I decided to go to their page. And sure enough, they had somebody on there. I don't know who they were. It was a guy and a girl, family, friends, whichever it was. But they talked about it and they put it out there and let everybody know what was going on. So that's why I'm on here right now, because it was confirmed on their TikTok page that it happened, and they're still in the hospital. When I see, when the video was made, I don't know if they're still in the hospital now. But man, all of my feelings came rushing back when I lost my daughter. It just, certain things in life remind me of her and remind me of losing her and bring back my feelings and flashbacks of the day that I lost her. Even days leading up to her final um, TD, I should say, time of death. And I just see myself collapsing on the floor. And to know that that boy's parents are laying in hospital beds right now, clinging to life, basically. Do they know? Do both of them know, the mom and dad know, that their son has passed due to this car accident that they made it through? I don't know. I don't know the full details, but I do know when I found out my daughter, that was it. She wasn't coming back. After me begging for multiple brain scans and things like that for a long time, I just know that when I was told, I didn't hear the time of death, because when the doctor walked out to me and I was in the hallway, he says, the time of death, and then my whole world crumbled at that time. So, kind of collapsed, screamed. And what got me is the nurses were shushing me. And I'm like, in my head, like, not even comprehending anything that they're trying to say to me. And they're trying to rush me into another room because they have other patients and things like that. And they don't want them to hear me screaming and crying. And but when you lose a child, it's devastating. It is devastating to the core. Um, they should have put me in a different room before they told me that if they didn't want me to react like that, in the hallway. So that was my child. That was a part of me that I would never, ever see again on earth. So, yeah, anyway, before I start bawling tears, I just wanted to come on here and um, just talk a little bit about loss, basically. Um, the feeling of loss, the effect loss has on people. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna jump off of here and get my day started. So I'll see you on the next one.